Let me hear you say, Midnight Star. Midnight Star. Say, Midnight Star. Midnight Star.
Released in 1983 on the Solar label, No Parking on the Dance Floor became Midnight Star's most successful album and one of the best R&B albums of the 80s. Many listeners considered it a perfect album from start to finish. Midnight Star member Jeffrey Cooper said, "I think that's the first time people said I like your whole album. They liked the whole album. You know, sometimes people would pick one or two songs off an album. People liked our whole record." And Reggie Calloway said, quote, "We vowed to make every song on the album a potential hit. So we were very scrutinous about what we chose, the ones that didn't make it and the ones that did make it. That concept paid dividends. We sold over 2.5 million records that first outing, the most records sold of any band that year." Success didn't come easy, though. Midnight Star's first 3 albums, The Beginning, Standing Together, and Victory, didn't produce any hits, leaving the band with their backs against the wall. "We weren't so sure we could get another record deal because if you didn't make it after 3 albums, who else was going to take a chance on you? It was really a do or die thing. Either we're going to get a hit or we're going to get dropped off the label." The band knew it was time for a change. Determined to finally get a hit as well as a successful album, the group's leader, Reggie Calloway, sought advice from the man who had just produced what would become the best-selling album of all time. After meeting with Quincy Jones, Reggie said he learned many things. But one of the things that stuck with him was, quote, "There's no democracy in music," meaning you got a 9-piece band. You cannot have 9 opinions to determine whether it goes this way or goes that way. It's got to be one concise mind. You can listen to all the 9 ideas. But when it comes down to it, you have to make the final decision. Or you make no decision, and you have a lukewarm record. Their previous album had been produced by the entire band, but this time Reggie took on the sole producer role. Everything that we've ever done has always been collaborations, but Reggie was at that time the leader of the band, and what he was doing and how he was feeling, we were willing and ready to follow that lead. While there was only one producer, every song on the album was written by members of the band. Let's look at the track list. Electricity, Night Rider, Feel So Good, Wet My Whistle, No Parking on the Dance Floor, Freak-A-Zoid, Slow Jam, and Playmates. Out of the gate, Midnight Star let fans know they were in for something special. This funky dance track, written by Bill Simmons and Reggie Calloway, set the tone for the album. The band had a new sound, and a big part of that sound was the use of the vocoder. Vincent Calloway became known as the band member who used it the most, but contrary to popular belief, it was actually Bill Simmons who performed the vocoder parts on this track as well as on No Parking on the Dance Floor. One of the band's inspirations for using the vocoder was the master of the talkbox, Roger Troutman. Reggie recalled Roger saying, "You guys keep playing that pretty jazz music." "Oh, that's beautiful. That pretty music. We were into making everything sweet and perfect. After touring with Zapp, we changed our entire style. Roger taught us a lot inadvertently." Night Rider was written by Bo Watson, Jeffrey Cooper, Bill Simmons, Belinda Lipscomb, and Melvin Gentry, who also sang lead on the song. The lyrics of this track are both mysterious and futuristic, fitting in perfectly with the electronic space-age themes of other songs on the album. Feel So Good was written by Belinda Lipscomb and Kenneth Gant. According to Belinda, it was one of Marvin Gaye's songs that inspired her to write this tune. "Feel So Good came to me like at 3 o'clock in the morning. Sexual healing was out, and I said I gotta have an answer, so to speak." Written by Reggie Calloway, Wet My Whistle was originally intended for the Whispers. However, after the song was delivered, the people at Solar quickly changed their minds and decided to let Midnight Star do it instead. The song ultimately reached number 61 on the Billboard Hot 100 chart and climbed to number 8 on the R&B chart. According to Bill Simmons, the title track came about after their drummer, Bobby Lovelace, parked in a no parking zone and got a parking ticket. He took that experience and said, "You know, like, man, What if I was at the club and like standing still or somebody standing still in the middle of the dance floor? Would you write them a ticket? That parking ticket was a true blessing in disguise, but the song almost didn't make the album. According to Bobby Lovelace, he listened to it before turning it in to the band and decided not to present it because he felt it was corny. But it just kept coming back. It just would not go away. So I got up the nerve to put it out there. Not only did it wind up being the title track, but it was also one of the 3 singles from the album. It peaked at number 81 on the Billboard Hot 100 and number 43 on the R&B chart. Our careers were in jeopardy, so we started going to clubs to see what people danced to. After seeing what got people moving, Midnight Star got busy on Freak-A-Zoid. Wanting to be sure that the public dug their new sound, they decided to test it before releasing it. We took it to a nightclub one night and he put Freak-A-Zoid on, and people were just like yelling and partying. At that point, the band was convinced that Freak-A-Zoid was a hit. Getting into the streets of what do people really want. And that's how Freak-A-Zoid came about. Understanding what people really want. What's going to rock the house and just tear the roof off to where any radio promotion man in the world can hand it to the guy and say, "You like this?" And he can't say, "I don't think I like that," because he knows right away that this is the stuff. When talking about the album, Reggie said, "We knew it was good, but that doesn't mean anything. The album could have died like the others. But Freak-A-Zoid caught on. That saved it." And what's a Freak-A-Zoid? According to Reggie Calloway, the word Freak-A-Zoid is meant to describe someone who is so perfect that they seem to have been programmed that way. In an interview, he said, quote, "like an android that was created to be a perfect mate." This smooth, slow jam was written by Belinda Lipscomb, Bo Watson, and Kenny Babyface Edmonds. Initially, the song was only going to be sung by Bo Watson, but he thought it would sound better as a duet. I could have sung it, but I said it would be better if Belinda sung it too. And he was right. Even though it wasn't released as a single, it quickly became one of Midnight Star's most popular songs. On this track, fans could truly appreciate Bo Watson and Belinda Lipscomb's amazing singing abilities. As great as they sounded on the album, one could argue that their live performances were even greater. The soulfulness of Belinda Lipscomb's voice and Bo Watson's incredible vocal range took this track to another level. Capping off the album was a song written by Belinda Lipscomb, Bo Watson, and Bill Simmons called Playmates. With Belinda on lead vocals, this track was the perfect ending, capturing the album's overall theme of nightlife, dance, and party culture. The No Parking on the Dance Floor album reached number 27 on the Billboard Pop Albums chart and climbed to number 2 on the Billboard Soul Albums chart. It also went double platinum and was awarded R&B Album of the Year by the National Association of Record Merchandisers. In the end, No Parking on the Dance Floor is more than just an album. It's a timeless album that defined an era, blending innovation with irresistible grooves. Midnight Star's masterpiece continues to echo through the decades, reminding us that true musical genius never goes out of style. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, share, and subscribe, and join us next time.